Hello dear friends, welcome back to top lesson for you. Friends, we are discussing about the muscles of the shoulder region. So in our previous lecture we have discussed about deltoid muscle, then we discussed about teres major muscle and teres minor muscle. Now in this lecture I'm going to discuss about supraspinatus muscle and infraspinatus muscle. Now look carefully friends. Supra means above, spinatus means the spine of the scapula. If you can see here, posterior to in the surface of the scapula, there is a process which is called scapular spine. So above this spine there is a muscle which is called supraspinatus muscle, and below this spine there is another muscle which is called infraspinatus muscle, which we will discuss right now. So supraspinatus muscle, it is a muscle of shoulder region, right? It is related to shoulder girdle. Its shape is a little triangular in shape, right? The location supraspinatus muscle is the most superiorly located of the rotator cuff of the muscles, right? So the rotator cuff of shoulder joint, the most superior muscle of this rotator cuff is supraspinatus muscle. It resides in the supraspinous fossa. Supraspinous fossa is a depression above the scapular spine, right? Superior to the scapular spine, you can see. So this is scapular spine. Above it there is supraspinous fossa, and that fossa there is a muscle which is called supraspinatus muscle. What is its origin? It gets its origin from the supraspinatus fossa of the scapula. And what is its insertion? It inserts into the greater tubercle of the humerus. Here you can see, we'll show. What is its actions at the shoulder joint? It performs the abduction of the shoulder and stabilizes the humeral head in the glenoid cavity. So the movement which it performs is the abduction. Whenever this muscle contracts, your humerus bone will go up. So this upward movement goes away from the center of the body. That's why we call it abduction. What is its blood supply? It is supplied by the suprascapular recurrent artery. Here is suprascapular recurrent artery. So this artery gives oxygenated blood to this muscle, and it is innervated by suprascapular nerve, right? So this is supraspinatus muscle. You can see it here, supraspinatus muscle, and this will be infraspinatus muscle. So what did we see about supraspinatus muscle? All these points. I hope you remember this. Then the next muscle in this area is the infraspinatus muscle. Infra means below, spinatus means spine of the scapula. So here you can see this muscle. This is infraspinatus muscle. This one is infraspinatus muscle. You can see this is scapular spine and supraspinatus muscle, and this is infraspinatus muscle. The infraspinatus muscle is a thick triangular muscle that occupies the majority of the dorsal surface of the scapula, right? To the dorsal surface of the scapula. What is its shape? It is thick triangular shape muscle. Its location: the infraspinatus muscle lies in the dorsal surface of the scapula, deep to the trapezius and the parts of the deltoid and latissimus dorsi muscle, right? So it is located in the dorsal surface of the scapula. It's very easy. What is its origin? It arises from the infraspinatus fossa of the scapula. And what is its insertion? It inserts into the greater tubercle of your humerus bone, right? Then what are its actions? At shoulder joint, it also helps in the abduction of the upper limb, right? So it also stabilizes the humeral joint into the humeral head in the glenoid cavity. What is its blood supply? It's supplied with the suprascapular recurrent artery, and also it is supplied with the innervation is provided by suprascapular nerve, right friends? So this was about the infraspinatus muscle. Now the third and the last muscle, the sixth and the last muscle in the shoulder region, That is the subscapularis muscle. Subscapularis muscle. What is subscapularis muscle? It is a muscle of the shoulder joint, shoulder region. The subscapularis muscle is large, triangular in shape. You can see this is subscapularis muscle and this is triangular in shape, right? What is its location? Subscapularis muscle is a triangular muscle of the shoulder located in the subscapular fossa of the scapula. Now look, in this diagram you will find it in this red muscle is subscapular muscle. Here also you can see it is present posterior to the ribs and interior to the scapula. There is a fossa formed by the scapula which is called scapular fossa, right? So this muscle is present there, that's why we call it subscapularis muscle. What is its origin? This muscle, this subscapularis muscle arises from the subscapular fossa of the scapula. And what is its insertion? It inserts into the lesser tubercle of the humerus bone. This is lesser tubercle of the humerus. You can see this is its insertion. What are its actions at the shoulder joint? It is responsible for arm internal rotation. Now when your subscapularis muscle contracts, you can see when this contracts, it will pull the arm anteriorly, anterior and inward to the body. So that's why we call it internal rotation. It also stabilizes the head of humerus in the glenoid cavity, right? What is its blood supply? The subscapularis muscle supplied by the subscapular, suprascapular and circumflex scapular arteries. You can see them here in this diagram. So the subscapular, suprascapular and the circumflex arteries supply oxygenated blood to this muscle. And what is its innervation? It is innervated by the upper and lower subscapular nerves. Upper and lower subscapular nerves here. So I hope you will remember all these important points. So what did we discuss? We discussed in the muscles of shoulder region, the first muscle deltoid muscle, the second teres major, teres minor, supraspinatus, infraspinatus and subscapularis muscle. So these were the muscles of the shoulder region. Now what did we discuss up to now? Up to now we have discussed the muscles of the which region? The muscles of the pectoral region. Then we discussed the muscles of the back. These were the muscles of pectoral region. I hope you remember all of these. Then we discussed about the muscles of the back region, trapezius muscle, latissimus dorsi muscle, levator scapulae muscle, rhomboid major and rhomboid minor, right? And then we discussed about muscles of the shoulder region, deltoid muscle, teres major, teres minor, supraspinatus, infraspinatus and subscapularis muscle. So up to now we discussed about the muscles of the shoulder region. Now in the next lectures we will go towards the muscles of arm region. So see you guys there. Till then, Allah Hafiz.